Hello people, in this video we want to look at corticosteroids in under ophthalmology. Okay, this corticosteroids we have already covered in pharmacology, all the details, but now in the perspective of eye we need to look at, right? So let us start off with that pharmacology only, and we'll just see what and all we have seen earlier in pharmacology, what we have learned. Adrenal gland is making, the cortex is making these glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids. Okay, the cortex is making. So these corticosteroids, so there is mineralocorticoids, glucocorticoids, so many are there. Okay. Mechanism action, they penetrate the cell, they bind to the cytoplasmic receptor. Where is the receptor? It is in the cytoplasm. They go into the, then they go into the nucleus and they start transcription of RNA and they start making some proteins. Okay. Okay. So what and all do these do? They cause protein breakdown, lipolysis, they cause osteoporosis also. Okay. What did it say here? It goes into the nucleus. Here it said regulation of protein synthesis. It is regulation. Okay, and they are saying protein breakdown. And then on the heart, what are the causes? It causes water retention, it causes hypertension. On the muscles, it will cause hypokalemia, decrease in potassium levels. And what else does it do on the CNS, on the central nervous system? So it can cause euphoria. It lowers seizure threshold, so people can get seizures. Stomach, it increases gastric acid, etc. Then on the lymphoid tissue, it has some action. So basically, why are we using glucocorticoids? Mainly because of this, it suppresses inflammation. This is what we need. Actually, we'll come to this. This is the action we actually need in the eye. So it suppresses the hypersensitivity, right? So it is given before organ transplant. So a lot of uses of corticosteroids are there. So basically this is what corticosteroids we have seen in pharmacology. A lot more we have seen in pharmacology actually. Anyways, now let us look at it in the perspective of ophthalmology. Okay, so basically why are we using it? We are using it as anti-inflammatory agents. So basically these are, steroids are anti-inflammatory, they are anti-inflammatory. We are talking about today what about steroids. These are used as anti-inflammatory, they are also immunosuppressive. Like I will tell you what happened. Like I am having currently allergic eyes because it's summer probably, or I have done something and I am having severe irritation in my eyes. There is no specific purulent discharge, it doesn't seem to be any infection. However, there is allergic eyes. So I went to the doctor. And the doctor prescribed to me this loteprednol. Wait, I'll show you that bottle. The doctor prescribed to me this one, loteprednol, the doctor prescribed, okay. Along with this, she has given me some other things like antihistamines and also some artificial tears kind of a thing, okay. So what and all they have given me, because I have allergic eyes, okay, let's take a better color, because I have allergic eyes, they have given me what and all? They gave me this steroid, that is loteprednol. This is specifically what they have given me. Then they have given antihistamine like olopatadine, and they have given me artificial tears, okay, to protect the eye from dry eyes, okay. So these are what they have given me. Today what are we looking at? This point. Maybe you are not able to see. We are looking at the steroid part, this one, okay. We are looking at the steroid part, loteprednol. So why did they give me? Because my eyes are inflamed, there is swelling, redness. So it is overacting, though there is absolutely nothing that is causing my allergy probably. It's overacting, right? So they gave me this. Why? Because it is, what is this going to do for me? It is an anti-inflammatory and it's immunosuppressive, okay. So that is why they are giving this steroid. So other than steroids, what are the options for anti-inflammatory? You have pain relieving drugs, NSAIDs you have, okay. So those NSAIDs will be anti-inflammatory and they will also reduce pain and fever. What do steroids do? They will reduce the inflammation, yes, but along with it they are immunosuppressive. Steroids are not talking about fever or pain, right? Okay. Steroids have only two things, anti-inflammation, immunosuppressive. These two you have to remember. So ophthalmology, why are we using steroids? Anti-inflammatory, immunosuppressive. Very good. Okay, let's move on. So what are corticosteroids? We studied they are secreted by the adrenal cortex. We already saw they have anti-inflammatory effect. We know they have anti-allergic effect. Yes, they are anti-fibrotic action also. Okay. So they will reduce the WBCs, leukocytic and plasma exudation. So they will reduce that edema kind of a thing. Is it plasma exudation? So inflammation it will reduce. So then it will maintain cellular membrane integrity. It will inhibit tissue swelling, inhibition of lysosome release, increase stabilization for intracellular lysosomal membrane, suppress the circulating lymphocytes. So it's immunosuppression obviously. So did you get it? This is overall introduction to corticosteroids. Very good. Now let's look at the classification. One thing, if you have under that 100 things should be their types. So let us look at the classification of steroids. So basically it is summarized in this table. Okay, we'll look at the table. So corticosteroids are classified like this. We are looking at ophthalmology. Glucocorticoids, intermediate, short acting, intermediate acting, long acting, and then mineralocorticoids. Okay. So they have two, first of all they have glucocorticoids and mineralocorticoids. Under glucocorticoids they have short, intermediate, long. Let us see what the doctor gave me. The doctor gave me loteprednol. Where is it? Loteprednol. It's not there here. Okay. So basically they have given glucocorticoid they have given this. So basically what are the examples of short acting? You have hydrocortisone, cortisone, prednisolone, methylprednisolone. Intermediate acting you have triamcinolone, fluprednisolone. Is this okay? Then long acting you have dexamethasone, betamethasone. Mineralocorticoids you have fludrocortisone. Okay. So now let us look at. So this was the classification as mineralocorticoid or glucocorticoid, and a glucocorticoid you have short acting, medium acting and long acting. So basically how will they give this? They will give in the form of drops or ointments or injections. This is for local. For local also they are giving injection. Systemically they are giving tablets or injection, that is oral or injection. Okay. Let us look at topical. Topical here they are mentioning ointments. These are the 4 ointments they are mentioning. Cortisone, hydrocortisone, dexamethasone, betamethasone. Okay, these names are always repeating, remember, okay? Dexamethasone, betamethasone, hydrocortisone, cortisone, these are all very common steroids, right? Then you have medricin, fluoromethalone and loteprednol. This is the one that I am really interested in, loteprednol, okay? 0.5% suspension, they are saying. Suspension, is this 0.5%? Yes. 0.5% sterile eye drops, they gave me 5 ml. Yes, okay. So these 4 are ointments. What and all are ointments? Cortisone, hydrocortisone, dexamethasone, betamethasone. And suspensions like this eye drops, they are giving loteprednol. We'll remember this one, loteprednol, because this is really prescribed by them, right? Then you have medricin and fluoromethalone. Okay. So, topical where and all you will use. So, we are talking only about topical now, right? We have not gone to systemic yet. Topical only we are talking about. Eye drops, ointment type of things. Topical where and all you will use wherever there is inflammation, because it is anti-inflammatory. Uveitis, scleritis. Itis means what? Inflammation. Uveitis. Inflammation of uvea, sclera, inflammation, scleritis, allergic conjunctivitis. This is why they gave me, I'm thinking, like allergic conjunctivitis I had, right? Allergic keratitis. Keratitis, I think my cornea is as of now fine. I think I have only conjunctivitis. Only my conjunctiva is affected. Okay. Then cystoid macular edema, and they also gave it after intraocular surgery. Why edema? Because they said it will reduce edema, right? And intraocular surgery, obviously, to reduce any over hypersensitivity, immune suppressant. Okay. So basically this is cystoid macular edema photograph, right? Cystoid macular edema. So they're talking about the macular edema. This one is what? These are all some allergic conditions looks like, right? Okay. Systemic. Now let's move on to systemic steroids, right, guys? Okay, systemic steroids we are moving on in ophthalmology. Basically, these are the common preparations used are same names: prednisolone, dexamethasone, betamethasone. Actually, prednisolone was not there. Dexamethasone was there, betamethasone was there, right? How are you giving it? Betamethasone tablet, right? Dexamethasone, they're saying tablet and solution for injection. Both dexamethasone can be injected also. Okay. Prednisolone tablet and injection, both. Betamethasone is only oral. Okay. So systemic preparations, why will you use? Again, same things only they have given. Uveitis. Okay. In inflammations. See, we already have seen some things. Uveitis we have already seen. Other than that, these seem to be new. For systemic preparation, why will they give? Systemic steroids. That means for the whole body, general. Sympathetic ophthalmia. That is, one eye is injured, the other eye should not get damaged because of immune. So they'll give that. Vogt Koyanagi-Harada syndrome, VKH. This is some idiopathic condition. Nobody knows why it happens, kind of a thing. Papillitis, retrobulbar neuritis. Retrobulbar, behind the eyeball. Some retrobulbar neuritis. Anterior ischemic optic neuropathy. Something to do with the optic nerve here also. Here also optic nerve. Then this is also optic nerve, right? Then scleritis is inflammation of sclera. Malignant exophthalmos, big protruding eye outside. Orbital pseudotumors, if there are tumors also they are giving pseudotumor actually. They are saying pseudotumor. Orbital lymphangioma. Orbital lymphangioma, something again a tumor kind of thing. Corneal graft rejection. Again to suppress the immune because they have done some graft of the cornea and there is rejection. So to avoid it kind of a thing, or once it has occurred they are trying to treat. So basically in all these they will get systemic preparations. What is this photo? Let us look at. VKHD. Okay, that is that what is that? Vogt Koyanagi-Harada syndrome. This is that idiopathic condition. Okay. What are the side effects of steroids? Are they all happy, good? No. Because when they prescribed it for me, they have written 15 days. But what I saw in many things is you should not use it more than 1 week. But anyways, for me, they have prescribed 15 days. I will use it 15 days and I really hope that I will not have any problems because of this steroid. What are the problems with steroids? Steroids can cause glaucoma. They can cause cataract. They can activate an infection because you have suppressed immune. Infection can get activated. Like herpetic fungal bacterial keratitis. So I can get herpes infection, fungal infection, bacterial infection. Oh my God. Dry eyes can happen because of steroids. Interesting. So they gave me a artificial tear. Ptosis can occur. That means drooping eyelid, is it? So it suddenly looks scary, isn't it? So many topical steroids can have so many issues. What and all are the issues? I can get infections, which is the most scariest. Glaucoma, cataract, and what else did we see? Dry eye ptosis. Very bad. Then systemic corticosteroids may cause systemic side effects also. Not just ocular, that can cause systemic side effects also. What are the ocular complications? Same thing, cataract, glaucoma, infection, delayed wound healing, papilloedema, central retinal vein occlusion. This is one word. Central retinal vein occlusion. Occlusion of the retinal vein. Okay. Systemic complications. What will the systemic complications be? We have already seen in the pharmacology. Basically, it can lead to peptic ulcer because it will increase gastric acid secretion. Hypertension it can cause. That was the CVS we saw, CVS effect. Osteoporosis also we saw in that one, right? They mentioned that. Aggravation of diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus can increase. Mental changes, CNS effects are there. Cushingoid state. This is a Cushingoid state. It is not a really Cushing state because it's not the adrenal gland which is producing these excess steroids. It is you are injecting. So it's kind of a Cushingoid state. It feels like a Cushing syndrome. Reactivation of tuberculosis and other infection. Obviously, infections can come back because you are suppressing the immune. So corticosteroids are not all super duper cool, but of course we need them because otherwise the body is overacting also, right? Like in my case, that's allergy. Okay, so that was about corticosteroids in ophthalmology. Let's take a quick recap. These are used as immunosuppressive agents, anti-inflammatory agents. These are naturally produced by adrenal cortex anyways, but we are injecting them here, right? Topically, we are putting them as eye drops into the eye, etc. What they all do, we studied, we looked at their actions. Classification, we will look at this classification. This is better. Topical and systemic. Topical, we saw what and all, some ointments, cortisone, hydrocortisone, dexamethasone, betamethasone. Betamethasone you saw has to be only in systemic. It can be given only as oral. It doesn't have injection. However, dexamethasone, it is there in systemic. Both of these two are there in systemic also. Midrison, fluoromethalone, loteprednol. This is the one I'm using. Loteprednol. Okay, loteprednol. At least one name you can remember from this, right? Why do you use topical steroids? Uveitis, scleritis, allergic conjunctivitis, allergic keratitis. So allergy comes only in this topical, right? In systemic, they are not giving allergy. Cystoid macular edema, that is CMO or CME, right? CME, and intraocular surgery. Okay. Then, now next is what? Systemic. Obviously, systemic, what and all you're giving? Prednisolone, dexamethasone, betamethasone, and what are the indications? BKH, sympathetic ophthalmia, papillitis, retrobulbar neuritis. Okay, then scleritis, orbital pseudotumors, optic neuropathy, orbital lymphangioma, corneal graft rejections. That's all. And remember, and these steroids will have side effects like it can cause glaucoma, remember glaucoma, and fungal infection. Okay. Because what happens with fungal is people don't have much symptoms, they might tend to ignore it. So you should not exceed your prescription of steroids, take it only for the given duration. Okay, don't go and refill your prescription and think that more is good. Okay, so that is what about steroids in ophthalmology. Bye bye. Okay, just note that steroids can be contraindicated in some situations, and in those situations they can give, instead of steroids, they can give non-steroidal drugs, right, like aspirin, etc. So let us see when they are contraindicated. Obviously, they are contraindicated if the person has glaucoma, cataract, virus infection, fungal infection, bacterial infection, etc., right, dry eye, ptosis, all this if they have. They are contraindicated, and also some systemic conditions, if you see, they could be contraindicated, right? So in those cases, you will use aspirin, etc. In optic neuritis, some things are written like oral prednisolone therapy alone is contraindicated. With that, you will have to give some IV methylprednisolone, etc., etc. There's a lot more data in the textbook which you will have to look at. Then coming to scleritis, they are saying some conjunctival steroids are contraindicated. Okay. So that's all as contraindications and what the remedy is.